Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding a directive by the Private Security Regulatory Authority on minimum wage for private security officers. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the leader of the majority party regarding a directive issued by the Private Security Regulatory Authority to private security service providers on minimum wage payable to private security officers. Honorable Speaker, on 10th June 2024, the Private Security Regulatory Authority issued a public notice purportedly published as legal notice number PSRA-002-2024, directing all private security service providers, users, prospective users, representatives of users of private security services to submit to it legal commitments to comply with the set minimum wage for the private security guards. In the same notice, the authority threatened immediate cancellation of certificates of registration and subsequent deregistration of any private security firm that would not comply with the directive by close of business on Monday, 17th June 2024. Honorable Speaker, Section 70 of the Private Security Regulation Act 2016 requires a responsible CS to make regulations for the proper administration of and give effect to the Act, including matters of employment of security guards by operation of Article 95 of the Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It had gone off. By operation of Article 95 of the Constitution, the purported legal notice not having been laid before Parliament in accordance with Section 11 of the Statutory Instruments Act 2023 is therefore void. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the leader of the majority party on the following. 1. Could the leader of the majority provide a report on the constitutionality of the legal notice number PSRA-002-2024 issued by the Private Security Regulatory Authority on 10th June 2024 on compliance with the minimum set wage? 2. Outline the steps that will be taken to revoke the legal notice by the Private Security Regulatory Authority if found illegally issued, and the measures put in place to ensure adherence with the relevant laws while exercising the said directive. 3. Provide details on the processes leading to the determination of the minimum wage and whether the process adhere to the due process contemplated in law. 4. Explain the powers and functions of the Private Security Regulatory Authority under Section 9Q of the Private Security Regulatory Authority Act 2026. Includes setting of the minimum wage for security guards without reference to the Ministry and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. 5. Clarify whether the powers vested in the authority under Section 32 contemplates non-compliance with minimum wage as a ground for cancellation of certificates of registration and or the registration of private security firms. And 6. Explain the reasons for failure by the authority to submit regulations envisaged under Private Security Regulatory Authority Act 2016 to Parliament as required under the law, despite various efforts by the Committee on Delegated Legislation. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Robert Mui. I've been requested by two joyriders. Major Bashir. Where is he?
Yes, sir.
Are you a major or a colonel?
I'm a major.
Major Bashir.
And it's not easy to achieve the rank of a major. It's not just like going to an election and winning. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the statement that has been read by Honorable Mbui. And the matter here is about regulating the private security industry. Honorable Speaker, sometimes last year, the PSRA, together with the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination, appeared before the Committee on Delegated Legislation, of which I'm a member. And we asked them to bring the regulations so that the committee can go through and either approve or annul. Sadly, the state regulations have never been brought to Parliament through the committee. What we are seeing now through gazette notices aimed at private security companies is a nullity in itself, because it is something which is not bound by law. Take, for example, the issue of minimum wage. It is not under the purview of the private security authority.
Make your point, Bashir. We don't have much.
Thank you very much. On matters of minimum wage, it is the Labor Council that sets minimum wage. The work of the PSRA is to ensure that it implements and enforces the minimum wage as set by the labor law. It's not under their purview to set minimum wage. Two, there's a lot of despondency on the private security industry now, because every now and then, every 2 weeks, every month, they are getting new legal notices, which, in my understanding, and the understanding of our committee for that matter, is that it has not been approved by Parliament. So the regulations out there is null and void, and I wish that the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination should ensure that they abide by the rule of law. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Osoro. Make your point in 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to support Honorable Bui's statements on the conduct and the directions given by the PSRA in regard to the private security firms raising the minimum wage of the security officers to 30,000. Honorable Speaker, the era of people or authorities making unilateral statements or directions is long gone. One thing operate under contractual agreements with the clients, and there is no So, Honorable Speaker, a CEO of PSRA cannot wake up one morning and direct security firms that by force on this particular day, make sure you pay your security officers 30,000. That is an illegality, Honorable Speaker. You cannot bypass this house, the house that makes laws. You wake up one morning, bypass this house, you ignore the subsidiary legislation process, and decide the rule is this way. Honorable Speaker, we support Honorable Bui's statement.
Thank you. Tongoyo. 1 minute. You are the chairman of security. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to really also comment on the issue being raised by my colleagues on the proposed increased wage bill, minimum wage by the PSRA. Honorable Speaker, as much as it's true we agree with the concern raised by members, the issue of minimum wage is still also ongoing discussions. Honorable Speaker, it's good to agree that some of the firms, big firms like Equity, like actually some of the big institutions, pay as less as even 10,000, Honorable Speaker. So we had a proposal that we had actually proposed to the institution to adopt, whereby they are going to form categorization and give different classifications and different certificates, so that the institutions that, of course, they are big like G4S, who can able to afford the 30,000, they are given a different certificate, and they are, of course, you'll be able to be given a certificate and a classification depending on your capacity, just like the way NCA does. So, Honorable Speaker, it is a very valid discussion, but I think it's something that we should be able really to appreciate, that majority of these institutions actually pays extremely too low when themselves are actually earning more. So I think the point to look at it is that we are going to have the regulatory authority give different certificate, different classes, so that the big companies who actually able to have the capacity should be able to pay the minimum. Those in the villages, like those who got the primary schools and small institutions, can able to pay the minimum that they can able to afford.
Thank you. Majority Leader. This statement was directed at you. You also have your Thursday statement. We have only 9 minutes to start the next business.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and let me thank the Honorable Robert for that statement. And indeed, it has been a concern to many people who have also reached out to me who are running security firms. And I want to commit that I will get in touch with the ministry and give a response in the course of next week, by Thursday next week, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you indulge me now to go to the usual Thursday statement, as you said, in the interest of time. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Thursday, 11th June 2024, to prioritize the business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as you had previously communicated, today, Thursday, 13th June 2024, the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning, Professor Njuguna Ndungu, EGH, will make a public pronouncement of the budget highlights and revenue-raising measures for the financial year 2024-2025 and the medium term. I urge members to listen keenly and actively participate in this important business when the opportunity for debate on the matters raised comes up in the House, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, it will also be important to mention it to members of the public that this is not the Finance Bill 2024-2025, because there has been a misconception outside there that what the CES National Treasury is coming to spell out today is the Finance Bill 24-25. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it will be important for members of the public to get the understanding that these are just the revenue-raising measure statement, not the Finance Bill. I know many of these members have been harassed by members of the public on matters touching on voting. There will be no voting today, Honorable Speaker, on anything. Honorable Speaker, with regards to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages. One, committee of the whole House on the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill of 2022. Two, the second reading of the following bills: the Land Laws Amendment Bill, Bill number 2 of 2023. Two, the Care and Protection of Child Parents Bill, Senate Bill number 29 of 2023. And C, the Magbins Bill, Senate Bill number 13 of 2022. Additionally, debate will also be undertaken on the following motions. One, report of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for the 9 constituencies in Bungoma County. Two, report of the Public Petitions Committee on its consideration of public petition on funds spent contrary to the provisions of Article 223 of the Constitution. Three, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of specified state corporations. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from this Embu team that is conversing in Kimbere and Embu.
Order, honorable members, Karemba and your team. CNN, go and take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, the only word I could understand was Mogoka. In the conversation they are conversing. Three, report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of specified state corporations. Four, report on the Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library on enhancing reporting of parliamentary business on online platforms. Five, report of the Committee on Regional Integration on its inspection to the semi-autonomous institutions of the East African Community in Uganda. Six, report of the Committee on Implementation on the implementation status of reports on petitions and resolutions passed by the House. Seven, report of the Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on its consideration of alleged fair trade practices by foreign investors in Kenya. And eight, second report of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on Employment Diversity Audit in Public Institutions. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 19th June 2024, to respond to the following questions. One, question by private notice number 004 of 2024 by the member for Gilgil, Honorable Mother Wangare, CBS MP, regarding the death of Jasmine Njoki in Gilgil, Nakuru County. 2 questions by private notice number 05 of 2024 by the member for Samburu County North, the Honorable Eli Letipila, MP, regarding the status of the investigation into the death of Honorable Paul Goshimpiro, MCA, for the Angata Nanyekia ward in Samburu North constituency. 3 questions by private notice number 006 of 2024 by the member for Luanda, Honorable CPA Dick Maungu, MP, regarding the sporadic attack which led to the killings of people in Luanda constituency. 4, Honorable Speaker, I think you may have to separate these members from Embu County. I doubt even the cabinet secretary will not be heard if these members sit here, Honorable Speaker.
Order, order, take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Karemba, can you go to where you normally sit? Go, retreat to where you normally sit.
In actual fact, Honorable Speaker, these 3 seats are reserved for members of the Parliamentary Service Commission and the Deputy Speaker.
Retreat.
And the commissioners have been displaced.
Wind up. Wind up. Karemba, you will go and sit where you normally sit. Finish up, Majority Leader.
Now that, Honorable Speaker, I can transact some peace. 4 was a question by private notice number 08 of 2024 by the member for Lugari, Honorable Nabwere Nabi, MP, regarding the status of the investigation into the circumstances that led to the death of 2 brothers, Mr. Bonaventure Ounza and Mr. Calistas Apoka, by the policemen based in Santo Police Station. 5 is question number 11 of 2024 by the member from Moyale, Honorable Professor Jaldesa Guyo, MP, regarding the status of the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting of Ms. Kabale Galgalo Guyo around Kangemi Mosque compound. 6 question by private notice by number 012 of 2024 by the member for Lamu, Honorable Monica Mudhoni, MP, regarding the recurring conflict between herders and farmers in Ungu village of Hindi ward, Witu and Mkunumbi wards in Lamu County. 7 question number 271 of 2023 by the member for the Lysamis, Honorable Joseph Lepton, MP, regarding birth and death registration offices in Lysamis and Loyangalani sub-counties. 8 question number 02 of 2024 by the member for Matungo, Honorable Oscar Peter Nabulindo, MP, regarding the surge in cases of livestock theft in the Western region and in particular Matungo constituency. 9 question number 03 of 2024 by member for Kinango, Honorable Gonzi Rai, MP, regarding the deployment of the contingent of GSU officers to Kazamoyo village in Kwale County. Question number 05 of 2024 by the member for Bahati, Honorable Irene Joki, MP, regarding the replacement of the vehicle with registration plate number GKB340J assigned to the Deputy County Commissioner for Nakuru North Sub-County. Question number 57 of 2024 by the member for Isiolo South, Honorable Tubi Bidu, MP, regarding the issuance of identification cards to residents of northeastern and bordering counties, regions. Sorry, Honorable Speaker. 11 is question number 45 of 2024 by the member for Fafi, Honorable Yakub Farah, MP, regarding actions taken by the government to enhance security in Fafi constituency. 13 question number 48 of 2024 by the member for Muhaya, Honorable Omboko Milemba, MP, regarding the intimidation and unfair labor practices against non-local teachers in Mandela County and the broader northeastern region. 14 is question number 050 of 2024 by the member for Kilome, Honorable Thadia Zambia, MP, regarding the gazettement of Nzai sub-location in Makueni constituency. 15 is question number 123 of 2024 by the member for Yata, Honorable Robert Basil, MP, regarding the omission of Yata sub-county administrative units from Gazette Notice number 1766. Lastly is question number 124 of 2024 by the member for Kiambu, Honorable Mashua Waidaka, MP, regarding delay in issuance of national identification cards within Kiambu constituency. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 18th June 2024 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement on the floor of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Rahab Mukami, you have a statement which I will defer to Tuesday. All your houses to Tuesday. I've said I've deferred to Tuesday, so I'll give you an opportunity on Tuesday. Yes, Wangari?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's not usual to comment after the usual statement by the Leader of Majority, but indulge me, Chair, Honorable Speaker, on the issue of private notice questions. They are supposed to have been answered within a week. Some of these issues, like the case of the girl who was killed in Gilgil, it was last year, September 12th, Mr. Speaker. You ask a question on private notice, months later, it is not responded to. What are we going to do as a House to deal with that issue of private member notice questions? Because they are taking too long, we are not getting justice and getting answers at the right time. I think it's an issue that has concerned many members, Mr. Speaker, that maybe you should give guidance to the House.
I'll give you guidance next week. Honorable members, order, Honorable Ruku. Order, Honorable Ruku. I have received two statements. One from the women rep from Lamu, denouncing and renouncing Muguka. Another one from you, praising Muguka as a valuable resource mobilizer and crop from your region. Right? The two statements are with me. I'll give you time next week if you want to bring them So I can see the distinguished members from Embu County, and lawfully occupied with no intention of breaching the standing orders or causing any disaffection in the House. If you do so, you will be offending the feelings of many people. We know Muguka is a very, very contentious issue. Like I've told you, the statement from the women rep of Lam is as strong as your statement.
Will be passing over Kenya ceding 7.4 billion to the counties and to the areas that should be boosted. But also, Honorable Speaker, we have also included part of the areas of the equalization fund because we want Kenya to develop together, because when every part of Kenya develops, Kenya ultimately develops. And Honorable Speaker, these are monies that will be going into infrastructure like roads, like water, and other facilities, Honorable Speaker, like in the education sector, because we want these areas that have been marginalized for too long, Honorable Speaker, for them also to catch up so that Kenya develops together. And I want to thank all members, Honorable Speaker, because we have consistently